Buddy, Keith Wheeler with kwheelerbooks.com and the Review Mates Facebook group. I wanted to talk today about reviews. I'm getting a lot of requests on, asking me for review tips, but I wanted to cover today is what are the top 5 issues I see or things I see authors and publishers doing wrong when it comes to reviews. The first thing is they're not educating. You need to educate your readers, your friends, your family, the importance of reviews. We know how important reviews are, but the reader doesn't. And so what we really need to do is make sure that they do know. That this is one, this helps us as an author get seen by more readers and potential readers. But also it helps the potential reader looking at the reviews helps them make an educated decision on whether or not they think this book would be for them. So the first thing is educate. The second thing is they don't ask. Human nature is not to, we're very instantaneous people. And so we go, we place our order, we get our product, we consume it, whether it's by reading or eating or what have you, and then we're done. So it's not in our nature to go back to the start and do something else unless we're asked to or told to. So that's the other thing, is you need to ask. And I don't just mean on Amazon. Obviously, in your book, you may put something in there about, leaving a review. But when you're doing a book signing or you're at a fair or a festival and you have your books, what I do is I create bookmarks or even business cards, and on there ask for reviews, and not just say, can you review my book? Or if you like my book, please review. Briefly explain the importance. Reviews are extremely important, are extremely helpful, are extremely informative. So make sure that they know that, because especially if they like your book and they're a fan of yours, they're going to want to help. You just got to tell them how. The third thing is they don't follow up. This is especially important when whether it's friends or family or a book reviewer or anybody that has told you that that they've checked out your book and that they're going to review it. It's not being pushy. Wait a month and then send them an email and say, hey, hopefully you're doing fine. I was wondering if you had a chance to read the book, and if you did, I would love to find out what you thought about it, and then provide the link. The other thing is they don't ask enough. I've seen people put it in their Kindle book. It's very, very common in their Kindle book or any other ebook for that matter, and they'll put a link, but in their paperback they don't. And part of it is the argument that, well, it's a big long URL and no one's going to want to type that out, so we just don't bother including it. And while it is a long URL, there are ways around that. The easiest way is you can go to TinyURL or any of the other URL shorteners online, and you put in your normal URL and they will give you a shorter version. Include that in your paperback book so it's easier for the reader to type in. Another thing is create a QR code. You can do that it's very simplistic. You can do it for free. Just go online, search for QR code generator, and basically all you do is, just like with a TinyURL, you put in the URL and it will design a QR code that you can put in your book that someone with a QR code reader can scan. QR code readers there's apps on pretty much every smartphone device will have that kind of access, and they can download it, QR code it, and go straight to your Amazon page and leave you a review. Again, you want to make it as easy on them as possible, because, in this day and age, we have so many things going on. We're not lazy. Well, some people are, but it's not that we're lazy. It's just that we're busy. And so the easier you can make it, the better your chances of getting the results that you want. And the fifth and final one, and probably the biggest, I don't want to say mistake, but the biggest missed opportunity that I've seen when it comes to reviews is how you ask. I've seen so many times on pages, whether it's a website or on the back of a book, it says, if you loved my book, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a review. Or if you liked my book, please review. You're leaving out so much possibility. I don't care if you like my book. Obviously, I want you to like my book, but I want your feedback even if you didn't like my book. Because the 1s and the 2s and the 3s, that's how I become a better author. That's how I make my book better. Whether it's you found typos, you didn't like an image I used, you were confused about something, or maybe you just don't like the concept at all. Obviously, you take it with a grain of salt. You have to have a hard shell back in this industry anyway. But if all you get are 4s and 5s, you get a false sense of security, and that tells you, oh, I'm perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. This is an ever-changing environment that we're in. We're always growing, or at least we should be as authors. And so that negative feedback, that constructive criticism, if you will, that is just as important as those 5-star ratings. And unless your book is getting a lot of 2s and 1s, it's not really going to hurt your overall rating as bad as you think. Matter of fact, a lot of people, if they see a book that only has 5s, then they're going to think the reviews are fake, and they're not even going to pay it any attention. So getting those real reviews, even if they're 3s, 2s, or even 1s, they might find a typo. You can go in there and fix it real quick and done. But again, they could be giving you, if someone doesn't like your book, and you're going to have people that don't like your books. If someone doesn't like your book and you're seeing a consistent theme to that will help you grow as a writer. So again, instead of saying, if you liked my book, please leave a review, instead word it like, I would love to hear what your honest thoughts about my book. Please let me know here, and then you include the link. That way, if someone's reading it and they didn't like your book, did I like your book? No, I'm not going to leave you a review. I didn't like the book. So this way, you got a better chance of reaching those other, basically on a scale from 1 to 5, you're only including 4s and 5s. If you say, do you like my book, leave a review. By asking, saying that their opinion matters to you, regardless of what it is, whether it's positive or negative, that you really want their feedback, you're including the other three groups, 1, 2s, and 3s. And so instead of getting 40%, you're going for 100% of the people reading it. Not everybody's going to leave a message. Not everybody's going to leave a review, but it betters your chances. So that's it. Those are the top 5 things that I've seen. Again, these are just my observations. So if you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. You can go to ReviewMates on Facebook group. Love to have you there. Also, you can go to kwheelerbooks.com and check me out there. Also, if you have any ideas or suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments below, and you might just see them on there. Thanks a lot. Have a good day, and remember to write right.